Happy holidays, everyone. I am excited to be here to share with you one of my favorite recipes for the holiday season. It's my Italian frittata, which is perfect for any holiday brunch or lunch, or I even love enjoying it for dinner. But I'm going to be preparing it and serving it on one of my favorite pieces from @2home, their Italian cutting board bowl. What I love about this piece is it is multifunctional. I have it sitting on my countertop, featuring all of the ingredients that I'm going to be using in this frittata. It has a scooped out portion where you can toss salads or prep any sort of meal. Then you can flip it over and use it as a cutting board. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna use this gorgeous piece in my kitchen to prep for the holidays. So let's go ahead and get started on my frittata. Okay, what I've done is I've thinly sliced a yellow onion, which I am going to saute in my oven-proof cast iron skillet. So the wonderful thing about this frittata is it all cooks either on the stove top in your cast iron skillet, and then it finishes off in the oven. So very easy, very yummy recipe. So what I've done is I thinly sliced my yellow onion. I'm also going to thinly slice 2 Yukon Gold potatoes, which I did not peel. They have a really nice thin skin, so I'm gonna leave the skin on there. And I'm also gonna throw in a sweet potato because it adds nutrition. I love the color, the pop of color it gives to this dish. So what I do is I'm actually using my mandolin slicer, and I'm just gonna thinly slice all of my potatoes. Okay, so what I've done is I've sauteed my really thinly sliced onions in lots of olive oil in my cast iron skillet. And what I'm going to do next is add all of my really thinly sliced potatoes, both my Yukon Gold potatoes and my sweet potatoes, and I'm gonna toss it all around so that they continue to kind of have this layered effect, but you don't wanna break your potatoes up. So what this does is it creates a really delicious layered potato frittata. We're gonna add the eggs and some delicious fresh herbs after this is cooked a little bit, and then we're gonna top it off with all sorts of delicious items. So what I've done is I have cooked my potatoes very thinly sliced in olive oil with my onions, and you can see that it's still kind of a layered effect going on in my pan. And what I'm gonna do next is in my mixing bowl, I have 8 eggs, and I am going to chop some fresh oregano and some fresh basil on my chopping board. And then I'm gonna throw all of these fresh herbs in with my eggs and whisk it all together. And it's gonna be a wonderful, we're gonna throw all those in there, and we're gonna whisk it all together. And then I'm gonna pour this delicious mixture right over my potatoes and my onions in my pan. My frittata has been cooking on the stovetop, so I poured over my egg mixture with my fresh herbs, and now I'm gonna add all of my toppings. So this is the stage where my frittata goes in the oven. So what I've done is I thinly sliced some beautiful Campari tomatoes, and I'm just gonna spread these all over the top here of my frittata. And then what I'm going to do, I already seasoned it with a little bit of salt and pepper, so you just wanna add a little bit of salt and pepper. I also have some fresh prosciutto that I'm just tearing and also adding to the top of this. And I also have some calabrese salami, so this is a little bit spicier. We love a little bit of spice in my house. So I'm gonna add this to the top of my frittata. And then last, but certainly not least, I've got about a half a cup of very finely grated Parmesan. So that's going on top here. And another thing I did while it was on the stove top kind of finishing up is I just took a knife, just a regular butter knife, and ran it around the edge of my my pan to keep my egg mixture from sticking, because you want this to be able to pop right out of the pan after it's done cooking in the oven. So now I'm gonna throw this in the oven for about 20 minutes so that it sets, the eggs get cooked, the potatoes continue to cook, and the top becomes really nice and crisp. So while my frittata is in the oven finishing up, I am going to start on my salad. So what I do is I top this frittata with just some fresh baby kale. I love using baby kale in this recipe for just a nice little kind of crunch to go on top of this frittata, because it's sweeter, it's softer, it's not quite as bitter as regular kale. And I'm just gonna whip up a very quick, delicious vinaigrette, Italian vinaigrette. So what I do, the secret recipe, or the secret ingredient, is a blood orange. So I juiced a blood orange, and I have it in a little container. I have some olive oil, some sea salt, and a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna add my blood orange juice. I'm also gonna add a splash of white balsamic vinegar because this helps cut kind of the tartness of the blood orange, which I love. And then I just shake it up so that my salad dressing becomes nice and mixed and emulsified. And then I'm going to pour it over my kale, which I've put in the bowl side of my Italian cutting board bowl. And then I'm just gonna toss it all together, and I'm gonna top my frittata with this amazing, simple, and really, really healthy baby kale salad. I have very carefully and very gently taken my frittata out of the cast iron skillet. It just came out of the oven. I've put it on the flat side of the Italian cutting board bowl because it is a perfect way to serve this frittata. And I'm going to top it with some of my fresh baby kale salad. And then the finishing touch is going to be just a few shavings of fresh Parmesan. And what you have here is an amazing recipe that is so simple, but very hearty, beautiful to serve at any holiday brunch or lunch, or even for dinner. This is hearty enough to serve for dinner. So happy holidays, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the season.